I'm very pleased to introduce our new purpose statement for Works and Emergency Services. It summarizes our common purpose across all 7 divisions and reflects our shared identity. Each person in our department, no matter what division they work in, is part of the important work that we do as a department. Each individual's actions contribute to the larger organization. I hope that you will be as enthusiastic as I am about the way this video shows the important work we do to serve Toronto.
One of the things Wes heard from management focus groups was that we need a sense of collective identity across the department. How does it all fit together? There were suggestions to do a strategic planning process. We chose to take a fast-track approach. We've ensured that our Wes purpose statement is aligned with Council's strategic priorities and other corporate initiatives. Other city departments may be having their own internal processes as well that are consistent with the direction of corporate-wide initiatives. In Wes, we developed our department's purpose statement from a review of all the divisional strategic work that had already been done, and we made linkages of common components while also ensuring that it was aligned with corporate initiatives like the Toronto Public Service Project and Council's strategic priorities. Our Wes purpose statement has 4 components. Our mission, which can be defined as what we do. Our service philosophy, which describes how we do it. Our commitment to the staff in our department, and our motto, which sums up our pride in what we do. We have identified 3 components as our mission. What we do is provide services essential to the city's daily operation. Our services are fundamental for the day-to-day smooth running of the city. We also prevent and respond to hazards. West divisions play a major role in preventing hazards to life safety and responding to hazards when they do happen. We also build, operate, and maintain physical infrastructure to support our city. For example, staff in the Transportation Division maintain our roads and regulate traffic. These are 2 tough jobs, as anyone who has driven down the DVP during rush hour can understand. Over 2 million vehicles per day pour in and out of Toronto. Over 1,900 computerized traffic lights are operated by the staff in the Transportation Division. These optimize traffic flow across the city, along with the use of appropriate signage for vehicles, pedestrians, and bicycles. All this requires ongoing maintenance, which is another responsibility of the Transportation Division. Transportation staff prevent hazards by providing road repair and maintenance, as well as ensure safe traffic operations, snow removal, and street cleaning activities. Transportation staff plan the building and maintain the physical and operational condition of 5,300 kilometers of roads. That's the equivalent of driving from Toronto to Austin, Texas, and back again. They also build and maintain 7,100 kilometers of sidewalks and 160,000 streetlights. New structures need to be constructed. Existing ones need to be maintained, and sometimes even taken down. Solid waste management has always been a critical service provided by our department. Staff there serve the residents, visitors, and businesses of the City of Toronto by providing waste and recyclables pickup and disposal services. After our employees pick up waste, they deliver it to one of our 7 transfer stations. It is then reloaded onto large tractor trailers to be taken to landfill sites for disposal. City residents generate a lot of residential solid waste, about 914,000 tons annually. To give you a mental image, that's enough to fill the Sky Dome to the top. More than 256,000 tons of residential waste is diverted through programs such as Blue Box, yard waste composting, household hazardous waste, and the new Green Bin program, and through events like Environment Days. The Solid Waste Management Division is working on implementing ways to increase the diversion rate in order to lessen the environmental impacts from collecting, transporting, and disposing of waste. The clean water that you drink and use for washing every day is supplied by staff in the Water and Wastewater Services Division. Multiply this by about 2.5 million people, and you see why Toronto needs 4 water filtration plants. Every day, these plants produce about 1.5 billion liters of pure, safe water for pumping into homes and businesses. Water and Wastewater Services has significant infrastructure, including over 5,300 kilometers of distribution water mains. Again, that's about the distance for a second round trip between Toronto and Austin, Texas. Staff in this division ensure the flow of quality water to homes and businesses with minimal disruption. What you don't drink or run through your personal processing systems gets treated as sewage from households and from industries at the 4 wastewater treatment plants. This division's laboratories study the causes of pollution in lake water in an ongoing effort to keep our environment clean. They conduct over 300,000 tests per year to ensure water quality. In order to prevent harmful situations, water and wastewater staff take water samples from industrial and commercial sites to check that companies are not violating the sewer use bylaw, which is itself an award winner. And there is always planning that goes with the jobs of the operating divisions. Major utilities, the TTC, and other departments must be consulted before a spade touches the ground to make sure that any disruption to the public is minimized. Technical services staff provide development engineering services, engineering design and construction, contract administration, project management, and surveying and mapping services across the department for infrastructure, facilities, structures, and expressways. This division designs and constructs approximately $400 million in projects each year and has successfully managed more than $1 billion in capital construction to date. Surveying staff of technical services also maintain property mapping of more than 550,000 properties in the city. The effects on the environment have to be studied. All activities in this division are directed towards achievement of the city's environmental and sustainability goals. Some projects must be approved by several other authorities. The staff in this division, including engineers, assist in the reviews, planning, consulting with key stakeholders, such as developers and contractors, and get the necessary approvals to make this all happen. Every city, regardless of size and location, can be seriously disrupted by an emergency. This could take the form of a plane crash, severe storm, chemical spill, or similar disaster. While no one can predict an emergency, it is important to plan for a variety of possibilities. The Emergency Planning Office of the Technical Services Division coordinates planning across the corporation for unforeseen emergencies. It exists to better prepare Toronto to respond to and recover from potential major emergencies and disasters. It works in full cooperation and support with the city's key emergency services, fire, EMS, police, and health, as well as other departments in the city. It goes without saying that both EMS and fire services are essential in preventing and responding to hazards in a city as large as Toronto. In fact, fire and EMS often work together as a team at the scene of an emergency. When Toronto residents and visitors need emergency medical attention, their call is answered by Toronto EMS staff. Recognized worldwide for its excellent operation, Toronto Emergency Medical Services is a leader in its field. In those precious minutes before a patient arrives at the hospital, emergency care is delivered by a trained team of EMS staff. The public learn what to do in a medical emergency through the various public education programs that Toronto EMS provides, such as first aid training, CPR, and the Cardiac Safe City program. These programs teach the public what to do to save a life before the ambulance arrives. EMS staff work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to dispatch ambulances, to respond to emergencies around the clock. In a typical year, EMS processes about 420,000 requests for ambulance services, resulting in the transportation of almost 180,000 patients. 60 to 70% of case volume is emergency care and transportation as a result of accident, injury, and illness. Toronto Fire Services continues to be a leader in reducing the number of fire-related deaths in the city. and in reducing destruction of property and protecting the environment. In fact, in the year 2000, the number of fire-related deaths was reduced by more than 50% from the previous year, largely due to the War on Fire initiative. They provide fire inspections to ensure buildings comply with the Ontario Fire Code. Fire Services protects life and the environment from fire, hazardous materials, natural disasters, and other emergencies. They respond to more than 114,000 incidents per year, involving about 260,000 unit responses. These include medical emergencies, fires, rescues, hazardous materials, malicious and other false alarms. They maintain active emergency planning for disasters and extraordinary events. As part of their public education role, Fire Services staff provide information about emergencies, fire regulations, home inspections, and the Alarm for Life campaign regarding smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detection. They also provide public education and fire safety programs in schools. Public education and promotion can achieve dramatic results in changing the behavior of those who live in, work in, and visit the city. Support Services communication staff work with the operating divisions in providing public education and outreach. Approximately 450 tours are given at facilities annually, and about 220 presentations are given to schools and other interested groups. The communications section also provides the operating divisions with services related to press conferences, advertising, and printed promotional materials. When works emergencies occur, the Customer Service section of Support Services Division gets the call. They support West divisions across the city by providing two-way radio communication to coordinate field staff and other services, as well as phone and counter service, linking our internal and external customers. Customer service staff work with the public and are a highly visible face of the department, linking with external customers either in person at counter services throughout the city or by phone. They take repair requests for roads, sidewalks, and water service, and also inquiries for solid waste at dispatch and call centers that operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. About 750,000 public inquiries are received every year by the Customer Services section of Support Services. In addition, approximately 38,000 public inquiries are received by the Communications section on the Waste and Water Information Line, the Composting Helpline, and the Event Line. Administrative, financial, information technology, and other support is provided to staff in program divisions to assist them in delivering services to the public. Support Services staff process about 30,000 accounts receivable invoices and 12,000 purchase orders and departmental purchase orders per year. Information technology staff provide support for approximately 4,500 desktop computers. As you can see, all of the divisions in our department are involved to a large degree in the three components of the WES mission. Again, our mission is to provide services essential to the city's daily operation, prevent and respond to hazards, and build, operate, and maintain physical infrastructure. Our service philosophy describes how we work, which is to be a leader in public service for those who live in, work in, and visit our city, as well as to achieve results that balance operational, environmental, and financial needs. Not only do WES staff proudly serve the citizens of Toronto and those who work in the city on a day-to-day basis, they also take pride in providing services to visitors of our city while still balancing daily operational, environmental, and financial needs. This was never better demonstrated than during World Youth Day events. All WES staff can take pride in how the divisions work together in cooperative teamwork to serve the public at this huge event that was attended by hundreds of thousands of pilgrim visitors and Toronto residents, while at the same time maintaining uninterrupted essential services to the public. Transportation was involved in preparations for many of the events during World Youth Day, including redirecting pedestrian and vehicular traffic. Fire was always present, ready for response, and on the lookout for any potential threat to safety in the large crowds that this event attracted. EMS was front and center, constantly dealing with the impact of the hot and damp weather conditions. They made every effort to prevent or lessen the impact of conditions on event participants. But the Pilgrims did leave a little something behind. In fact, the estimated 800,000 people attending the Papal Mass at Downsview Park generated almost 500 tons of garbage. Although at times the post-event cleanups provided a challenge to the staff of the Solid Waste Management Division, several divisions in West worked together with staff from other departments to provide the city with one of its finest cooperative teamwork efforts and proudest moments. The images you've just seen illustrate our service philosophy, which is to be a leader in public service for those who live in, work in, and visit our city, and achieve results that balance operational, environmental, and financial needs. Of course, none of this is possible without staff in the department. Our senior management team is committed to valuing and recognizing staff input and contribution to the services we provide. Recently, our SMT recognized departmental staff at a graduation ceremony for the Leading Through Excellence program. Staff have been recognized for their contribution to the services we provide, both formally and informally. For example, just to name a few, we've had solid waste staff receive awards for their role in the City Watch program. Water staff have received appreciation awards for their devoted participation and contribution to the water industry. EMS recognizes different types of staff in ceremonial ways, including giving well-deserved recognition to those who work behind the scenes to make Toronto EMS tick. Firefighters have received awards for bravery. Fire Services has recognized their internal partners in information technology of support services for their dedicated efforts in the development of the Fire Services intranet. And transportation staff have been recognized formally for contributing to road safety. So our commitment is to value and recognize staff input and contribution to the services we provide. Our department is one of the few that has so many programs and staff who proudly work around the clock to keep the city running smoothly. This spirit can best be captured in a few words by our motto, proudly working for Toronto 24/7. Putting all the pieces together, our West Purpose Statement looks like this.
As you can see, our West Purpose Statement provides an umbrella for our various divisional strategies and activities. The video shows our staff in action, making a real contribution to Toronto on a day-to-day basis. I hope you share our pride to be working for Toronto 24/7.